Between September 1944 and April 1945, one of the most prolonged and bitter battles of the Second World War was fought between the Western Allies and Nazi Germany. In the battle for the Rhine, Hitler's Wehrmacht mounted a last-ditch defense of the German frontier, intended to cause the Allies major casualties, breaking their resolve and destroying the alliance between Britain and the United States. The battle for the Rhine saw some of the most audacious and dramatic gambles of the whole war. At Arnhem and the Bulge, each side tried to seize the initiative by surprise attack.
It looked like every time they had to have something in a hurry, they'd always come to Dad and say, "Mr. Malone, can you do it?" Dad said, "Well, we'll have to pray about it." Well, the story is here, and you can read it. I've got these up here so you can have a chance to read it and everything. But they came to Dad and they said, "You've never seen this boat before, but we'd like to have you help us. We've got to have boats across the Rhine River." So they let out 4 contracts. And when they let out the 4 contracts, we were the only ones in the south. The rest of them were all in the north. And I want you to know, at that time, they didn't think anybody in the south knew anything. They didn't think we were capable of getting anything done. But they didn't know what Pinecastle could do. We never had any ladies working in the boat factory until the war. And I tell you, if we didn't have the ladies and the high school people, we'd have had a very difficult time. Even the principal of the high school run the night shift, and they worked 4 hours. And the kids from high school would come over and work at night in order to win the war. There was tremendous effort made in this little town here in order to do all these things. With us very well, we worked all but Sunday. Well, they immediately got Dad and they said, "Mr. Malone, we want you to work on Sunday because we only got 3 weeks to get these boats ready. We want you to get the boats ready. We need the boats. So we want you to do just like the other 3 companies are doing up north. And we want you to work on Sunday." Well, Dad said, "Whoa, wait a minute. You told us there was going to have to be a miracle in order to get this done." And they said, "Yes." Well, we said, "God's the only one that does miracles. And so we're going to do it God's way." So we did just like we've been doing, work till midnight Saturday night, go back to work midnight on Sunday night. And we were the only ones of the 4 that had our boats done 3 days ahead of time. Because each one was assigned they gave us a contract of 1,200. But they wanted 300 from each one of the 4 contractors. We were the only ones that had any boats ready, and we had 305, I think it was, ready 3 days ahead of time. So they came in and the street was blocked off, and it happened to be on a Wednesday. And Wednesday is when we always had a special devotional time for our employees. And so we assembled together right in the middle of Orange Avenue, because it wasn't called Orange Avenue in those days, but it is now. And we assembled right out there, and the pastor got up there, and he brought the devotionals. When he got through, he says, "We have the colonel here with us from Washington. Maybe he'd like to say a word." So he gets up there in this cutting table that we was cutting the material on. He gets up there and he says, "We are so pleased. I've been to all 3 of the other contracts and they don't have any boats. And you got them all over the place. We're not even getting them out of here." And he said, "Would you take it on and build in the next 3 days 100 more boats? Because we'd like to have 556 or whatever it was, read the story, but we'll settle for 400 if you can just get us 100. Did you know we built 100 boats in 2 days? We still got done a day early, and actually 405 boats. And to God be the glory. And this has been written up, and that is the reason why we're given the Army Navy E.
And after nearly 6 long and bitter years, the war in Europe was over.